January, who would have laid odds that the day's two-goal hero would start the next campaign in a Tottenham shirt? It was perhaps the club nobody expected him to go to, but money talks. The fans felt he deserted them and should have stayed longer, but Gazza couldn't be persuaded to stay in his hometown, no matter how much the crowd loved him. Even now, he still says that, like Chris Waddle, he only left because Newcastle lacked ambition.
And you can be the next hero and that, but I think you've got to look at the fact that I probably would have stayed in Newcastle if the fact that Chris would have still been there and Peter would have still been there. But that was other problems at the club, and I was just disappointed to see them leave. And people were telling me to stay at the club. And also you've got to look and see how good Peter was doing, and Chris. And like Chris said before, you know, Newcastle should be thinking big. I know the fans and all that too, but at Tottenham there's a few differences, you know.
Whatever Gazza believes about Newcastle's ambition, his fee and more besides have been spent on filling the gap he'll leave in the fans' affections. His former colleagues know all about his outrageous skills. They've always respected him for that. Tomorrow they must try to treat him like just another opponent, and a highly dangerous one. But remaining clinical is not easy after Gazza mania.
He created a lot of emotion here amongst the players. He was the best-liked player in the dressing room, there's no doubt about that. But come Saturday, he will be treated just as another player. After the game, and maybe a different matter.
There's no resentment then amongst the players?
Not at all. As I say, everyone shook his hand, were disappointed that he left, but as I say, they shook his hand and wished him all the best, and just hoped that he'd done well, except for when he played against Newcastle.
Do you have a lot of sympathy with him at the moment? Because he is under an enormous amount of personal pressure, isn't he, with a £2 million fee to justify?
Well, he's got to learn to live with that. I said to him, or I said to people, that if he stayed here, there wasn't so much pressure on him because he was the kid with all the potential that cost nothing. Now he's the kid that costs $2 million, and every pass that he makes will be highlighted, good or bad. As I say, he's either going to be the absolute hero or he's going to be the mug.
And will they give the young star they used to worship? When the Spurs coach arrived, he got an early idea. £2 million made him a Spurs player, but Newcastle offered him a fortune to stay. And many supporters were deeply hurt that such a young lad walked out. But Gazza himself seemed in top form.
Guys, how you feeling?
Of course.